When do you know when a negotiation is a lost cause? Like, how do you know when to walk away?
Yeah, there's an old saying. It's not a sin to not get the deal. It's a sin to take a long time to not get the deal. So how do you know if you're the fool in the game? Actually, you just kind of ask. What kind of questions do you ask? You know, how have you done this in the past? How do you make decisions? You know, what does your perfect partner look like? You know, these are how and what questions. They're innocuous. Mm-hmm. You're trying to tease out the other side's vision from them. They might be using you just as a competing bid. They might simply be trying to get free consulting from you. Those two things are real common. In point of fact, it probably happens at least 20% of the time that the other side is never going to do business with you. They're doing due diligence, which means you're a competing bid, or they're looking for free consulting. So your questions are, if you proceed forward, what would that look like? With deference, they're going to actually start to answer the question for you. You'll find in a way that doesn't include you. Well, if we were going to move forward and we were going to find a firm, blah, 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 they start laying it out. Now, they'll probably catch themselves about halfway through the explanation and suddenly realize they're describing an outcome that doesn't include you. And then they'll suddenly course correct, which is a great indicator that they caught themselves lying to you and I've had that happen to me a bunch of times. So the idea, though, is how do you tease out early on in a very polite way whether or not their vision of moving forward includes you?
And what about on the other side of that? Like, what are people that, let's say, they would like to make a deal or they would like to at least work with you, but their vision and their world of working with you does not align with yours, meaning that they want to work with you at either half the price or half, essentially it's something that would not make sense, but yet the conversation is still ongoing.
Right. Well, for us, we're also looking for that also early. We're going to pull out early, pull out politely, which leaves the door open. We live by something we call the Oprah rule. The last impression is the lasting impression. I'm going to disengage from that conversation very early. I'm going to disengage politely. Now, you might not let me out of the conversation politely. If you let me out of the conversation politely, then that's a great indicator that we're probably going to see each other again in the future. That you're going to think about it, you're going to come around, you're going to be impressed that I was polite about it, and that will resonate with you, and you're going to want to come back. Now, if you won't let me out of it politely, that's actually a predatory move, which indicated that you were always planning on taking advantage of me. Someone that we coached in a negotiation recently, she refused to be the fool in the game. She assessed them as wanting to get free consulting from her, and she simply failed to comply and said, "No, I don't think I can help you. I'd love to dedicate myself to you anytime in the future. If I can, do everything I can to make you successful, but I just don't think we're ready to work together right now." So she exited politely. They sent her a follow-up email saying, "We would have gone with you, but you didn't share any information with us. And consequently, we chose somebody that did share information with us." Now, that's a punishing email.
Right.
And she was really concerned. She had second thoughts like, did I do the wrong thing? Did I miss an opportunity here? Because they said that's why they didn't hire me. And I said, was that a nice email as a follow-up? They go, no. I said, that's a punishing email. That's a predator's move. The predator always intended to victimize you, and when a predator can't victimize you, they get mad at you because you didn't play your role, which is another indication that they were trying to take advantage of you all along, and you made the right decision. So if I try to extricate from you politely and you won't allow me to extricate politely, that just tells me I'm on the right track and I need to get out of this conversation.
Yeah, and sometimes we've seen, walking away as even a negotiation tactic. Now, if you have to do that in order for somebody to ultimately say, wait, we want to work with you, is there a relationship there? If that has to take place, if it has to get to the point where one party walks away in order for a deal to get done.
No, I don't do that as a tactic. To me, that's a risk We believe in being honest. You know, so to pretend I'm walking away when I'm not would be to be disingenuous, which and if I come back, then I'm telling you that I'm disingenuous, you know, that it was a tactic and I'm not sincere. If I walk away, I've got at least 2 or 3 things that back up my assessment that you're the wrong deal for me. And when I walk away, that's it. You know, I'm ghosting you at that point in time. You can follow up with me all you want. I'm not gonna respond.